Hi there, this is Sahra. Welcome to Healthy Living with Juan Simó. Today we are going to talk about body transformation, especially related with general population. So,
Sahra, thank you for being here in my podcast. It's an honor having you here. So for you, it's very important to know this is the first one in English, because usually the place we're living in Dominican Republic, everyone speaks Spanish. So not everyone have the knowledge for understanding what we're doing here now. So this is go especially for people abroad. Okay.
And before we start, first I would like to make a definition of that for the people who doesn't know what body transformation is. So how do you define body transformation?
Body transformation is changing your body from where you are to where you want to be. Any change you're looking from your actual status would be trying to transform who you are. So from my perspective, a body transformation should come from inside outside. There's an author, a physician, an MD doctor. She's a female. She said this quote that is the one that I use in all my intervention, my workshops and seminars is called, it says, your biography becomes your biology. So what you are now, there's no matter how you are, how you feel, the perception that you have of your environment and the way you see the world around you is related to your habits. So what you've been doing for your life since the time you was born to the present.
So what are the benefits? So let's say I want to transform my body, and when I transform, what kind of benefits do I get from that?
If you try to transform your body because you're not happy with the way you look like or the way you feel, so transform your body when you're doing the right way, with using the right approach, it means healing your body. For example, when you're talking about this from a functional perspective, we're talking about functional medicine. So there's two aspects that manipulate how your body react to any change in your habits. It's called your hormone, your endocrine system, and your GI tract. So if you fix that, you can get whatever you're aiming to get through diet, lifestyle intervention, and exercise.
So those are the outcomes. So how can we define those outcomes? Like, for example, when I transform my body, I lose fat, I increase muscle mass, I fix my posture, I decrease my risk of cancer, etc. I increase my life quality. But why should I do this? Or why should I lose fat, for example?
Usually, holding a lot of fat is because your inner environment from a biological perspective, physiological perspective, is not working properly. Most of the people that get fatter, not actually just because they lack of exercise or they're eating much that they used to be eating. It must because most of the people are malnourished. So they eat a lot of calories that give you no support for the function that allow you to keep a healthy metabolism. This is the first. Second one is that every time you eat, because we evolve not eating that much, but everything that we put in our mouths a few thousand years ago was very dense in nutrients. Every time you eat and you don't give what the body needs, and we live in a very high polluted environment, you increase your toxic burden. So it means the more fatty you are, the more pollutant you have in your body, toxins. So in the best way to go improve that, actually burning fat, it should be improved by improving liver function that takes those molecules that are fat soluble, they need to be neutralized in order to get out of the body. That's why people, when they try to lose fat and they do it the wrong way, like for example, eating the same that they used to eat but just cutting back in calories, they age faster in their skin, because the most important nutrient for fat loss, for liver function, and many other things are protein. So most of the people cut back in proteins and cut back in calories. So this is not the right way to be done. So you need to think this very clear. The two most important aspects to understand why you get fat, sure, it's a reaction because you're living in the wrong environment. Environment means where you live, what you eat, what you do, or what you don't do. But it's because you increase, taking into account you live in a city, as we do, It's because we increase our toxic burden, and beside that, we are malnourished.
So, as a coach, my approach is when I get a new client, for example, I would like to categorize them to make the process easier to get the results. For example, when it comes to fat loss, we can say that there are different categories. For example, people who want to look naked, or there are overweight people or obese people. So when we consider their body fat percentage, when we talk about losing fat, there should be different approaches for these people from different categories. So in your experience, how do you categorize people, or do you categorize people like this? And what is your approach for them?
Usually you can have different approaches, but actually every approach will be aiming to manipulate insulin response. So when you get fat or you lose body weight, but you don't lose fat, it's because you are insulin resistant. So there's no matter what you do, what you're trying to do is to increase and change to insulin sensitivity. When you are insulin sensitive, it means actually you are manipulating what you want to achieve. For example, every time you have an insulin response, the increased insulin, you block all the enzymes responsible, fat tissue responsible to release the triglycerides in order to be, after that, be oxidized or burned. So that's why most of the people that eat very often, they only get results if they use anabolics, because you manipulate your insulin sensitivity. When, for example, the first benefit of using testosterone in supraphysiological dosage is testosterone increased dramatically the sensitivity in the muscle to get more insulin that people usually not do in a normal status or stage. So that's why first you need to decide where you are, where you want to go. If you want to look at Mr. Olympia, you need to do what the Mr. Olympia does. You know what I mean? So first thing you should do is to try to aim to manipulate insulin response. Let's say there's a lot of people around there, they do their gym every day. They do perfect when you see in the paper what they do as a workout, what they do on a regular basis in order to get in shape. They do workouts. Beside the workout, they do the diet. They count macros. Maybe they go eating clean. Maybe go ketogenic diet. Maybe whatever you want to call it, vegan, whatever. So they don't look as good as they should be looking, but they think they do in a regular basis. When that's the case, in most of the cases, is because insulin, it is not regulated in the way it's supposed to be. So you need to do things or to upregulate or downregulate insulin.
So in that case, I think that's the time we should talk about nutrition to manipulate insulin response. So there are many ways to increase insulin sensitivity. Sleep, as I know, is one of the strongest tool that you use. But in terms of nutrition, what is your approach to increase insulin sensitivity?
Your biography dictates your biology. Your biography becomes your biology. So first you need to know what you've been doing lately in order to change something. If you put something new, that's not the answer. You need to find out what to remove that is creating that situation where you feel not okay what the way you look like naked in the mirror. If, for example, if you're someone that sleeps very well, sleep perfect, sleeping is no issue. For some people, you should know that maybe it's not training the right way or doing too much training, or people is not eating properly. Eating properly doesn't mean like eating, sometimes it can be eating too much, eating too little, or not having the right quality of food. So first you need to think this, Sahra, is know what to do. If from where you've been coming and what you need to find out from that, what you've been doing before, then this moment is not allow you to body to heal. So when you are fat, when you don't feel okay, something is wrong in your body. Our body have a very, very powerful capacity to heal by itself if you remove the thing that is harming your body. For some people, for example, could be going a gluten-free diet. For other people, it's putting protein because he's not eating enough protein. For other people, sleep a lot and wake up tired because maybe the environment is not properly in hygiene for sleeping. Maybe they sleep with a lot of electromagnetic field in the room. Maybe they don't sleeping maybe in the right temperature in the room. So there's many things you need to manipulate. But for have a specific answer, everyone is unique. You need to find out what people is doing in their life in order to remove the thing that is not allowing your body to heal. This is the most important thing. For the average people that I see in my consult, the biggest issue definitely is sleeping. Because, for example, in Dominican Republic, Santo Domingo, there's a lot of people, especially from middle low class to high class, everybody do exercise. Everybody do a diet. Everyone you go to the room, they're going to the kitchen, you see a lot of supplements, vitamins, whatever. But they don't get the results. So people still pushing keep pushing the same direction. They say this, for example. I do 1 hour exercise every day in the morning. So I just wake up, sleep less to do exercise. Go running, go to the gym, do whatever you want. If you don't get results, what people do? They increase their volume. They do more per week.
Yeah, they
increase frequency. If the people are doing a diet and they don't get results, what they do? They compromise more the quality of what they eat by eating less. Or go by reading the label in some boxes, some granola bar or something. Try to count calories. And at the end, no calories are equal. So it's a transformation about the way you approach. So the first step to do or to move to change your body is to change your mind.
So you mentioned about some diet. So there's a lot of bullshit out there on internet, media, very different contrasting informations like this diet is a miracle one, and a few days later they say it's unhealthy, makes you sick, or instead of they pump another information diet, and people are trying one, having no results, and they sometimes, instead of progressing, they go backwards.
Yeah, because that's why we get manipulated by the media. I've been without watching TV for the last 15 years, and I've been the last 17 years without reading the newspaper, because everything you see is bullshit. So either way, you are malinformed or misinformed. So the best way to go is try to find your true potential, finding who you are, where you want to go, and from where you come from. So it's gonna sounds like something holistic, philosophy, whatever approach, but it's the truth. How many people actually find out what they really want? But problem is, people want to change to a different goal every weekend. If you got a guy, for example, is fat, go to the gym, and there's a guy that get into jack rip, he want to be lean in 5 days. But next weekend, he see a guy that go to a powerlifting show, lift a lot of weights. Now he want to be a power lifter. So there's no matter what you do, every goal that you have has a different path, a different approach to get there. Even from nutrition, from training, supplementation, whatever you want to do. So people come to my consult because I want to try to do this more straight to the cutting the chase, right, Chico? Uh-huh. Let's cut the cake or the cheese, whatever. Okay. You can emulate, you can look like the guy that you see maybe in social media. It's not difficult if you do exactly what they do. But nobody tell you the truth. Truth, the only go to half, there's no half truth. It's true or it's lie. It's a lie. Most of the people, they don't tell you. How many people do you see in Instagram? They're fucking jacked. They have a lot of testosterone in their body because they put a needle every day. And they tell you, no, I'm clean and natural. And people are so fucking naive, they still believing in those motherfuckers. Actually, I get mad about that because I've been there. I've been lifting for the last 38 years. 38 years. And I've been there. I've been in a guy, I remember when I was a kid, there was a very famous bodybuilder. The guy, you look like out of this world, have the first store in Dominican Republic. The guy was completely jacked. I mean, he had the potential to be the Mr. Olympia. He was handsome, because this is a society like 50 years ago, only people that was from the very low class were doing bodybuilding. Most of the people are brunette or have color. There's no white. This guy was handsome. So I used to go to the store and said, hey, I want to get like you. He said, holy fuck, I'm going to tell you the secret, but don't share it to anyone. And I said, what the fuck? Sure, let me know what it is. Okay, but trust me, let's go to my office. So he got this mystique environment. He puts his hand out of his desk and brings super gainer fuel for twin lab. Said, what the fuck? He said, what that is? That's the thing you need to get from no arms to 18-inch in 1 month. So I said, how much it is? He said, this is the price. It was the salary of my dad for a month.
What year was that?
We're talking about 1992, 93.
So nothing changed, I think.
Sure, but the thing, no.
It's
now
still
it's
the same.
No, but now it's worth the stupidity because people have information in the cellular form. They don't even have the curiosity to find out what's going on. So the guy gave me the super gainer fuel, right? I just jumped out of the store. By the placebo effect, I was feeling my body growing already. You know what I mean? I went to my house, had protein shake, like even stopped eating almost every meal just to have my protein shake. I saw my arms growing, sure, in my illusion. Then 1 month later, I was the same guy. I went to see the guy and say, hey man, I'm looking the same. I said, what the fuck? Okay, this is what's half the trick. I'm gonna give you the other half. But this is very important. Nobody knows. So it go down, I get creatine, you know what I mean? So until one day I got very late in the bathroom and I saw the guy naked, you know, bending over, like getting ready, you know, to get tapped with a needle in his ass. And I said, what the fuck? What's that? He said, okay, you got me. B complex. Yeah, right. So the story is that one, you know what I mean? So the thing is that when you follow this motherfucker, and I'm sorry, this is something that like Akyol told me that I can do that, say whatever I want to say. I get mad about that because there's a lot of people like Miguel is over here, maybe with the intention to be the best he can, but he doesn't find that guy that look at his face and tell him the truth. You want to look at a bodybuilder? Okay, you need to do this. You need to eat properly, respect sleeping, get the right program for training, and then maybe depends where you are and what you're aiming to get, you need anabolics, for example.
So it all comes down to the right approach.
Sure.
So let's divide the population. Let's say, let's talk about the people who are from general population, not for bodybuilders.
Let's do something. Let's finish this one, and then because Edgar is the boss, then we're gonna do a second part.
All right.
Okay. So at the end, just to close this, it's very important to understand you can accomplish whatever you want, but you need to know from where you come from. And then finding out that your biography becomes your biology, that's the only way to know that changing something that you've been doing is how your body's going to start changing. You need to remove something and put something new. So I see you next one. And Sahra,
thank you for listening.
Thank you very much for watching us. Bye.